Hey guys, this is Nick with Cymatics. In this video I will be making a wavy Pierreborn style melody, and for that I'm going to be using the VST called Purity. It's pretty common nowadays. I see this a lot to make specifically these kinds of synth-based melodies. It has kind of a trippy character to it, so you can get a lot of interesting sounds out of this, and it also takes up like no CPU, so that's another plus. But let's get started. I'm just going to write 2 chords here. Typically you want to play with seventh chords, major and minor 7th chords, when you make these kinds of progressions, because they aren't too committal tonally. Like they're not really either too happy or too sad. Kind of like that. And you can kind of keep the same chord and change up a couple of notes to achieve what's in fact a different chord, but it has most of the same notes in it by just moving one note down. So let me just show you what I mean. I'm going to select a tempo of 145. And then I'm just going to take these notes, keep them the same, and then add the E flat below. And you can see the chord is kind of stable, but there's just one note changes, and that's enough to give it a different, to give it some variation. Okay. And I'm gonna duplicate that across. And while that's going on, I will select a different sound. I'm gonna go to slow synth. Typically we want to look for like vintage style sounds, synth sounds. That's pretty close. That kind of a sound works better if, I like that sound a lot, but it works better if I make the chords really regular in their timing. So that's what I'll do. That way it's not going to sound off time when you put it over some drums. Okay, we can transpose this up a little bit more. I want it to be a bit brighter. Okay, let's duplicate that over. The point here is we don't want to have too many sounds that like overcomplicates the texture. We do want a lead sound though. And the key with the lead is not to select one that's too aggressive. Let's try that. A lot of these sounds, they react to velocity, so if you want something softer, then you can just bring down the velocity of the note. And it's already gliding by default, like I don't have to set up the portamento. Loop that. I'm just gonna keep this note going, and then go down here, and then come back up, which I think should just work. Yeah, there you go. We can increase the tempo as well. Okay, we're gonna pick a different sound. Because notice the chords are quite sharp, or sorry, they're slow. They have to like build up, but the lead is quite sharp, and I want to make it a softer lead so that it doesn't sound too out of place. That's nice, actually, that sound. Okay, it's a bit fast. Make sure all the velocities are the same so that you're not getting different volumes. I'm going to duplicate this chord section over, and I'll just experiment with different chord sounds. Because I like the general structure of it, but now it's just a matter of the sonics and finding a sound that you like. I'm looking for something kind of kaleidoscopic and weird, but still something stable that I can... It's just a normal pad sound, but maybe with some interesting textures. That's okay. It doesn't really meet the lead though. I'm gonna duplicate the lead as well. The reason I'm duplicating these things and then muting the other ones is I just want to keep the original sounds. That's okay. Okay, so one way to... Okay, I like this set of sounds. One way to make it a bit more expansive is to throw some reverb onto the chords. And I will do that with just a reverb. The emphasis here is not to use like hi-fi fancy plugins, but to actually use stuff that isn't, you know, geared towards like the cleanest mixes or whatever. You just want to have some even lo-fi sounding effects. It goes a long way towards making this style work. So then if I add another reverb here, and what also helps a lot is like modulation effects to just give it a weirder sound. We can use flangers and phasers. Right away you can hear that it's a lot trippier. Okay. Increase the frequency a little bit, and the amount reduction, just a little bit of amount reduction. Okay. And I want to add a little bit of EQ, just to shave off some high end and all this stuff that's happening in the low end. And for another section, we can add another purity synth to just give it some accents. And you can try writing melodies that, like counter melodies, that don't really have any real rhyme or reason, but as long as they fit into the scale, then you can get some like really psychedelic sounds that way. Maybe a pad actually might do the trick. I'm gonna go to slow synth. Okay, let's try that. Okay, I want to delete... Actually, maybe I want to keep it. I want to keep the same effects. Because they kind of make them gel together. Maybe I'll reduce the reverb. That's cool. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is add RC20. Because that's going to kind of give us some more convincing vintage synth vibe. Reduce the noise. I'm going to turn up the tone on the noise. Reduce the ducking. Turn flux off. Reduce the distortion as well. We're not really looking for distortion. We're looking for a bit of wobble, a bit of noise, some grit, some filtering. And one thing you can try from this point is to resample this, and a lot of times reversing these melodies sounds really cool. And yeah, I tend to resample the RC20 melody because it sounds cooler when you transpose it. Let's try reversing it. You get these like really weird backwards sounding synths, which is it goes a long way towards making it more psychedelic. And obviously dropping drums underneath this would put everything into context immediately, but hope you guys learned something about this this weird new style of melodies, and yeah, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.